Avenida Xian, Xing, hey, we're gonna be walking down this big wide boulevard. Over there, way over there is Star World Casino. There's the World Trade Center for Macau, parking garage. And then this right here is, what's the name of this hotel? There's a hotel right here that has a nice spa and things like that. And a nice little courtyard. This is all part of it. There's a beautiful Thai restaurant right there, good food. Grand Lapa, that's it. There's a name right there, and that's a Thai restaurant with a sauna, big huge sauna in there. And it's connected to the Grand Lapa. And then over on the other side is where the car races, what do you call that, Grand Prix is that. Oh, there's Xian, Xing right there. Okay, this street is named after him. That's kind of cool. Anyways, this introduction is a bit longer than I planned, but that's a good introduction as well. And then right there's the Sands Casino, and over there on the other side is Fishman's Wharf. But we're going to be heading down this street right now. Go check out the road. Hey, after you watch this, tell me what you like most about it. Put it in the comments below. Also, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that little bell button so you can see when I make other videos too. Avenida Xian Xing He. And I guess that's the statue behind us. That's the Grand Lapa. That's a Thai restaurant right there that I just mentioned before. He has some nice places to sit. And I guess that's him right there. It doesn't say much more about him except that he was born in 1905 and died in 1945, so he died at the age of 40. And I should probably research him and see who he's all about, so let me do that. Okay, let's start back at the statue. So now I can kind of make sense of the statue. So his hands are like that because he was actually a musician. So I guess that's him composing or being orchestra. So then when I looked him up right here, it says that he was a Chinese composer, born in Macau, died in Russia when he was 40 years old. Oh, born June 13. Okay, that's interesting, in Gemini, if that means anything to anybody. And here's his Wikipedia, and there's a bunch of pictures of him too. So I don't know, you could look him up yourself, and I'll focus on the street while we're walking. But it looks like he drew on Western classical music, and he composed symphonies, violin, Yellow River. Okay, so kind of interesting. Okay, so we're gonna walk on down the street. This is where we're at. The statue is right down that way. That's Xian Xing He. And then we're gonna cross over because it's more interesting on the other side of the street, I think. All right, so we're in this Zape area. Looks like the sun is just coming out right now. Gold shops, watch shops. That's because we're pretty close to the casinos, so sometimes they'll buy and sell stuff. I think those are. Let's see what else we have about him. He was born in Macau in 1905. Mother and father died in Xian before he was born. And then he lived in Singapore for a while. Chinese New Year references. So basically, Guangzhou. Okay, I'm kind of reading it at the same time. And then should be more focusing on the buildings, I guess, right here. This is a Japanese restaurant right here. And then we're gonna look at some of these streets. The first street that we're on was first corner was Berlin Street, and this is called Rue de Paris. So there's kind of a Paris. There's a bunch of European capitals that cross these streets right here in Zape. So I guess this main street right here. Ah, that's interesting. That's interesting that he was a musician. Let me just see what else they say about him. There's his statue right there, if you can see that. I'm going to put away the phone and then focus on the streets. So that right there is a street of Paris, and the first one was street of Berlin. And we're going to keep walking down, and you'll notice that there's a lot of European capital names for the streets that are in this Zape area that cross the street, named after the famous Macau-born composer who mixed Western classical music with Chinese music. I believe he mixed with Chinese music. He definitely was in orchestras and things like that. So I don't know, maybe it was all Western music. I'm not to look up. Maybe you can clarify. Somebody can clarify it for me. Massage shops, hair salon, and let's see. Omoon is Macau. So pasteleria, like some kind of bakery, I think. Pastels. So this is another one of these going to be European capital names. So this one is Brussels. So that's Brussels Street, and that sun is kind of bright. That isn't really very good when I'm filming. So probably what I'll do is I'll go across. Here's another Japanese place. That's another thing in Macau. Japanese restaurants are very popular. Nana is I think there's Nana in Bangkok. There's also Nana in Japan as well, and that's a beauty salon, so it's probably named after the Japan one. Little Tokyo Cafe. And then right here it's kind of interesting. That's Sands Casinos directly across. There's Grand Lapa way down to the left, and then directly across is a giant what do you call that thing? It's where they have symphonies and orchestras and things like that. So we're going to cross over to walk over that giant thing like that. And actually the shading is better over here. And I think since this street is named after him, it kind of makes sense because this is the Cultural Center. Sorry, I cannot remember the name before. So this is the Cultural Center. And the Cultural Center has like symphonies, orchestras, classical musicians, other kind of musicians, jazz, stuff like that. So that's actually kind of interesting that that this street goes by that name, and the center is here. And then on the way on the other side, you can see some stuff over there. That's Fisherman's Wharf. On the other side of there's a giant plaza that people can enjoy right there. Let me just see here. And let's just kind of walk down a little bit. It's like a tourist Melco. That's for employees. Melco is they contract a lot of people to work in the casinos. So here's another cross street. Open bow smile. Pharmaceuticals. Right there, there's like something that says like satay, like Indonesian food reference. Got a lot of different influences for foods here. Big fusion place. So Melco is they hire the workers to work in the casinos. So that's what that is. Ooh, it's bright. There's the sands. I don't know, the sun might not be so good for the camera, and this street right here isn't so interesting, so we'll focus on motorcycles. Got motorcycles and scooters everywhere in Macau. I'll explain about NAPE. So we're in this area called NAPE, N-A-P-E. I don't know what the acronym originally stands for, but basically this is all on reclaimed land. So it means they reclaimed the land from the ocean. Then they created all these things. So there's like casinos, Fisherman's Wharf over there. And then this street is kind of the edge of it. And then it goes all the way down to those other casinos on the other side. So we basically have like two sets of casinos, and then in the middle there's a giant park directly in the middle, and then you have all these wide boulevards because it's you know, they basically were able to create it their own way. And then you have some apartment buildings, so those in the middle are kind of apartment buildings until actually I think all the way down they basically are. But some of them are also act as office buildings, like this one I think is all office buildings. There's Fisherman's Wharf over there, then Street of London. So then you have all of these European capital named streets go all the way down. And you got some restaurants like here. Fondue is pretty popular. Okay, so now it's the Golden Dragon Center. So some of the office buildings have names like the Golden Dragon Center, and they'll have a lot of office buildings in there. Doctor offices, yoga clinics, stuff like that. And Lex Studio. And it looks like they're continually developing new stuff around here too. So this is like a new store. Yeah, it does. Okay, we're gonna keep on walking down. There's a cultural center over there. And then straight ahead, there's sometimes these big plots of land that are overrun. I think basically what happens is somebody makes a bid for it, and then they get so many years to turn it into something else, but they run out of money. You know, there's all these different scenarios, and then it just ends up an empty lot. They don't have any rights to do anything with it, so it just sits there. And then later I'll hear about, you know, the lease running out or whatever, and then somebody else can try to buy it, buy the rights to it or whatever, something like that. maybe probably other people know a lot more about how those things work than I do. And we're gonna keep on going down, and then way down at the end is the you got the cultural center right there, Creative Macau. There's a little thing that says that right there. And then all the way down, we have a thing for kids. So we're just gonna try to get across if we can. We have the rights of way, so we can just cross all the way down. And then we're gonna keep on going across. Then we have the Year of the Tiger, some references to like that. Celebrating the Year of the Tiger. So they're gonna do something down here. Then if you keep on going down, you go all the way to the waterfront. So now we have this new thing for kids. So this is basically a play area. And then there's the waterfront right there, and it's kind of a cloudy day. Well, it's not really cloudy, it's sunny, but I can't see the other side. It is kind of morning though. And that was a street right there. It's kind of cool. We got like some exhibition kind of stuff right there as well. So let's end it right there. Let's go check out the room. Oh, hey guys. 3 things. Like, subscribe, make some comments below. It'll really help out my channel. Alright. Xian.